ഹലോ 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 Hello, hello, check, check. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, check, 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 check. Hello, hello. Hello. Check, check, check.
Namshivaya, we are waiting for the chief guest to arrive. He'll be here very soon, and we'll soon be starting our event.
सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु
Om Namah Shivaya. I welcome all of you to this wonderful occasion which we have all been looking forward to. We are here to celebrate the campus joining of our undergraduate students. Welcome to the BSc Molecular Medicine batch of the Center for Nanoscience and Molecular Medicine, Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. We also have with us here Shri Vijay Menon, our chief guest for the day, along with Professor Shantikumar V. Nair, the Director of Amrita Center for Nanoscience and Molecular Medicine, Shri N.R. Mohanan, Center Head Kochi of Corporate and Industrial Relations of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, Brahmachari Rehna C. Mugundan, Chief Warden and Students Welfare Administrator, Professor Girish Kumar, Chief Warden and Head of Emergency Medicine, Professor Krishna Kumar Menon, Faculty Coordinator of the Molecular Medicine Program, and Ms. Amrita Shri Menon, our dear alumni who has joined us online from Bristol, UK. We also have with us here our dear faculty, members of the staff and parents. Without further delay, let's begin the celebrations of having the first ever undergraduate batch of molecular medicine students in the country. To begin this auspicious day by invoking the blessings of the divine, we have Sridevi and her team here to launch Mudra, the dance group of Amrita Center for Nanoscience and Molecular Medicine. As the saying goes, let the rhythmic divine movement spring into love, and from love to knowledge, and from knowledge to ecstasy, transiting all human sins. May the divine footsteps of Mudra take us away from the sorrowful and testing times of the pandemic to joy and celebration.
सन्ततमहं कुञ्जरमुखं शङ्करसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सन्ततमहं दन्तिसुन्दरमुखं मन्तकातकसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे
श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजेऽहं 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 भजे तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे धीरे ना ധീരന ദിത്തോം തനന ധീരന ധീരന ദിത്തോം തനന ധീരന ധീരന ദിത്തോം തനന ധീരന ധീരന ഉദന ധീം തദന ധീം തന ധീരന ഉദന ധീം തദന ധീം തന ധീരന ധീം തനോദ നോദ നോദ ധീരന ധീം തനോദ നോദ നോദ ധീരന തോം തനന ധീരന ധീരന തോം തനന ധീരന ധീരന തോം തനന ധീരന
ताने गावे तकतल तै तै ताने गावे तकतल तै 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 तकतन धीम तकिड तक धीम धीम तकिड तक धीम धीम तकिड तक धीम हदतो हदगीत धुनि को तक ऐगिरि नन्दिनि नन्दित मोदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दिनुते गिरिवर विन्ध्य शिरोधिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते भगवति हेशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते पदकमलं कमलानिलये परिपश्यति योऽनुदिनं स शिवे अयि कमले विमले कमलानिलशीकरसेव्यमुखाम्बुरुहे तव पदमध्य हि शिवदं दृष्टिपदं गतमस्तुमभिन्न शिवे जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते स्तुतिनिधि स्थिमितस्तु समाधिना नियमतो नियमतोऽनुदिनं पठे परमया रमया सतु सेव्यते परिजनो विजनोऽपि च तं भजे परिजनो विजनोऽपि च तं भजे परिजनो विजनोऽपि च तं भजे
So that was Mudra giving us a cultural and divine treat. Once again, thanks to Sridevi and her team for the joyful and rhythmic start to our celebrations today. Next, we have the University Prayer sung by our team here, led by Mrs. Srilata and Dr. Dhanya. I request all of you to rise for the prayer.
भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Thanks to our music team. Now, I would like to invite all our dignitaries to the stage. So let's begin the official function. I invite Brahmachari Rehna C. Mukundan to light the lamp and perform the puja before Amma. I also request all the other dignitaries to join her. Now, I would like to invite Professor Shantikumar Vinayar, the Director of Amrita Center for Nanosciences and Molecular Medicine, to deliver the welcome address. Welcome, sir.
Okay, I get to do the most enjoyable thing, which is to welcome our students. So on behalf of Amrita Center for, I think I'll take this off. On behalf of Amrita Center for Nanosciences and Molecular Medicine and the very talented faculty that you have already met and taken classes with, on behalf of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, the university, on behalf of our beloved Amma, Sri Mata Amritandamai Devi, the Chancellor of the university and the founder of this university, it is my great pleasure to welcome all the students of BSc Molecular Medicine, the very first BSc Molecular Medicine students of the country. Great to have you here. I also want to welcome the parents who have supported them in taking a course that is out of the beaten path, but yes, so important for our country. And so nice to have you here. You have put your wards in very good hands, and we take excellent care of them academically and in every other sense. I wanted to actually talk a little bit about the university prayer that we did, the Shanti Mantras. But before that, I want to acknowledge the distinguished guests that we have on stage. First of all, our chief guest, Sri Vijay Menon, is an extraordinary orator, a management consultant. I have never, ever listened to an orator that has so much power and so much inspiration in his speech. I think he's the best orator I've ever heard in my entire life. He's someone who advises CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. He's someone who's a management consultant for Indian Institutes of Management, the premier cream of the cream management institute in the country. He is so busy going from place to place, advising management, advising corporations, advising institutes. In fact, it was so fortunate that we got an opportunity to have him here. He was on his way from Chennai to Kozhikode, and he decided to divert and take a flight to Kochi. And after he talks to us and welcomes all of you, he will be going to Kozhikode. He's someone who loves students, and he's someone who loves to inspire students. So to have him here really made our day. Thank you so much, Vijay Menon, for being here. Sri N.R. Mohanan is the center head for corporate and industrial relations of Kochi. You know how important placement is. I mean, it's one of the most important things for all of us, especially students as they look ahead in their career, and he's going to address you on that. Thank you, Mohanan, for coming to this event. Brahmachari Rehana Mukundan is the chief warden and the student welfare administrator for this campus. She is the one outside of academics who takes care of all of you in the perfect possible way, addresses your needs, is the first responder when there's any problems. Rehana is a face that you will come to know very well and very closely. Thank you, Rehana, for taking the time to come and be here. Professor and Dr. Girish Kumar is the head of the emergency medicine department of this big hospital. Is one of the biggest departments in the hospital. And he also happens to be, fortunately for us, agreed to be the chief warden as well. And so what better person to address all our emergency needs than Girish Kumar, and he's going to talk a bit about safety. Thank you, Girish Kumar, for coming. We also have with us Srimati Amrita Shri Menon. I can see her on the screen. Amrita Shri, how are you? She was a BTech graduate of our institute and also spent time at Amrita Center for Nanosciences doing a project. She's at Rolls-Royce in UK, Bristol, and she agreed to come and talk to all of you. We felt that we need to have a peer here to talk to you, and I think that would be very convincing. It'll be different from me talking to you. Thank you, Amrita Shri, for coming. Professor Krishnamar Menon is a very, very important person for you. He is the head of the molecular medicine program, the faculty coordinator for that program. And so from the academic standpoint, he will be the main person who will be overseeing the molecular medicine program. So he will also give you a brief talk at the end. Thank you, Krishnamar Menon. So you heard that prayer. It is actually our university prayer. And I wanted to say a few words about it because it is so perfect and so appropriate for an educational institution. And I'll just briefly give a sense of what it means because some of you may not understand Sanskrit and may not have heard the prayer. So, Sahanau Bhavatu, let us all be protected. Protected from what? Protected from ignorance. We are here at this education and knowledge for educational institution to spread knowledge, and it's through knowledge and knowledge alone that we can protect ignorance. Sahanau Bhunaktu, which is let us all be nourished. And we are not talking about the food that we're going to eat for lunch today, which is part of physical nourishment, but we are talking of the complete nourishment, the mental, emotional, and spiritual nourishment. Without that complete holistic nourishment, we cannot be a full institute. And Sahaviryam Karavavahai, let us all work with intensity, dedication, commitment, full energy and courage. And unless and until we bring out our hard work, we will never be successful. Let us pray that we can all do that intensely. And Sahavi and Tejasvina Adidamastu, let us grow in our knowledge to a higher level by sharpening our intellect and our intuitive powers. So it's not just intelligent. Tejas is much more than that. It's not just intelligence, it's also our intuition, our awareness. And by bringing those out, only can knowledge grow to a higher level. Ma vidvishavahai. Let there not be conflict, negativity, enmity. Let us come together. So it's a prayer of unity and peace. Om Asato Asat Gamaya, let there be move from untruth to truth. Untruth is basically all our mistaken and wrong notions about everything, our preconceived notions that pull us down. If we are able to release and let go of all these preconceived and wrong understandings, then we can move towards truth. So education is in some ways also about undoing preconceived notions. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, from darkness to light. And darkness again is ignorance, light is knowledge. So again we are moving from darkness, from ignorance to knowledge. Mrityorma amridam gamaya, from death to immortality. So that's something that is also explained a little bit in one of the subsequent prayers. We are not limited beings. We have tremendous capacity. we believe that each and every one of you have tremendous capacity, infinite capacity really, and our role is to try to tap into that. Then we can experience immortality, because death is a form of ignorance too. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu, let there be purity, cleanliness in our environment, purity of mind, purity of the world. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu, let there be peace. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, let there be wholeness and completeness. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, let there be auspiciousness everywhere. And finally, a prayer that I think is very important, Purnamada Purnamidam. We are full and we are complete in every respect. We may not always realize it, but we start here in our institution not from the understanding that we are ignorant and we need to learn. We start from the understanding that we are Purnamada, complete. We are divine, and our wrong understandings make us not fully appreciate that. Education is about realizing who we really are, our power, our source. And so this prayer is very important. Purnat Purnamadachyate. We are like the sun of knowledge that is rising in the ocean of knowledge. And Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. If you take away something from that divinity or knowledge, you're not left with something less. You cannot reduce Purnam. It's always full. So there need be no fear. We move forward fearlessly, because nothing can really take away from who you are and your inner potential. That can never be destroyed. It's just like energy can never be destroyed or created. You cannot destroy even in the slightest the Purnamada, the fullness that all of us truly are. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So these prayers really capture the essence of our institutional principles. And in a sense, our institution is not just about academics, and we have fantastic academics. We have world-class academics, we have world-class laboratories, world-class faculty. But it's also about the heart, it's also about compassion for others. Many of our programs are about service to society. Translational research, we call it, that is translating it to society, helping people. And it's about caring for others. It's not about just selfishly focusing on oneself, but it's about caring for others and learning how to do that, respecting others. So you're here, there are almost 90 of you here. There's so much to learn from each other. The real learning comes from satsang, which is learning from each other and others' experiences. And we facilitate that in this institution. We facilitate the learning that can occur outside your classroom, outside the board where we may write equations down. That essence of knowledge that is transmitted, that recognizes your potential, that's the part that Amrita will always reinforce for you. So with those few words, once again, great to have you here. I had a lot of interaction with you in 2 dimensions. Okay, on an LCD screen, and now we can interact in a fuller way, maybe 4 dimensions. The real 3D world and the world of other vibrations like compassion and love, and look forward to it a lot. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, Shanti sir. Now, let's have the lamp lighting by our BSc Molecular Medicine batch. I invite our director to hand over the lamp to the batch of BSc students. I also invite the other dignitaries to join him. Thank you all. Now, I would like to invite our chief guest of the day, Sri Vijay Menon, to address us. Welcome, sir.
through his eyes luminosity and transparency. That is personality. You know, I was in Chennai, and every time I go to Chennai, there is this beautiful old temple there called
All of us here with such a powerful talk. It was great to listen to you, sir. Thank you. As a token of our deep appreciation and respect, I invite our director, Professor Shantikumar V. Nair, to deliver the memento to our chief guest. Graduating with flying colors and getting placed in your dream companies is our dream for you too. Now, I would like to invite Sri N.R. Mohanan, Center Head, Kochi, Corporate and Industrial Relations of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, to address on placements at Amrita. Welcome, sir.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Mamadishri Nama. It's a Herculean task to talk to you after such a powerful and impactful talk by Vijay Menon. I will try to do whatever I can in this short, just 10-15 minutes. What I'm going to talk today is regarding the placement across Amrita. I think placement for nanoscience has not really taken up because we just started it, but we need to really think how can we take it up. So what we are doing in Amrita for placement, what we have achieved is something, it's a legacy with us, with which definitely we can also take up the challenges what we are going to have in nanoscience. So I would like to cover upon that, what we are doing here. So when we talk about placements, we place something like 2,000 plus students. Typically around 5,000 students join Amrita every year across all the campuses. You take engineering, arts and science, management, medicine, etc. 5,000 students join. We have around 25,000 students in Amrita across all the years. Out of these 5,000 students, some of the disciplines have high placement opportunities. So we typically place more than 2,000 students, maybe with around 2,200 placement opportunities, which some of the students getting more than one placement opportunities. And nearly 500 placement opportunities are created, or they come to campus for recruitment. So how all these things happen? So there is a mechanism working behind that. That's what I'm going to discuss with you. And we have a department Center called Corporate and Industrial Relations in Amrita, under Sri Parameswaran, Professor Parameswaran at Coimbatore. So it's more of an independent unit. In Kochi, I'm looking after the activities of CAR for the arts and science, for medical schools, and then management school. So what we do is something definitely is worth talking about. Actually, placement is only one of the end results. We don't typically do a overnight kind of training to see the students are placed. We start very early. So the most important thing what we do here is training for placement. You have academics definitely happening, and you have good scientists here, Dr. Shanti Nair and the eminent other professors sitting here. I'm sure academics will go well. Along with that, what we need to do to be aligned with industry, to work in the industry, is something we give as part of training. And that is something which 70 to 80% of our staff is faculties. They conduct training in interpersonal skills, training in communications, and training in aptitude. So that is something which is part and parcel of our existence. That's what we do, and we have a lot of people come from industry. I come from Tata's. I worked in TCS for nearly 15 years. I joined here in 2000. I was at Coimbatore for 5 years and came here. So many people from industry, we work in the CR department. So this is our mission, to facilitate holistic career development of students through comprehensive life skill training. As a training which is beyond the academics, and also innovative practical applications. We try to bring in innovations in whatever way we can. Some of the areas we are good at, maybe in engineering side we can do well, but maybe in nanoscience and medicals we need to really understand more about it, maybe we need to have induct more people into our department to do something of that nature. So that is our mission. And our motto is Yoga Karmasa Kaushalam. Whatever you do, your actions in Kaushalam, any action can be done in multiple ways. And if you take to the most perfect way, the last way, then I think you become the smartest man. So many various interpretations are there. One interpretation is the combination of your action, your work, the smartest way, the best way. That make you the smartest man or woman in the world. So that is our motto taken from Bhagavad Gita. And we do whatever we do in CER, we try to achieve perfection in whatever we do. So by this time it is clear. So at the end of 3 years, most of you, I think, would go for high studies. That's what I feel. Because this is so an intense subject, most of you may need to go for high studies, but some of you may want to go for placement also. Typically, there are three types of opportunities. One is placement, that is in private sector, in public sector. Nowadays, a lot of students want to go to defense. When I talk to students in arts and science or maybe in engineering, they say that, girls say that I want to, sir, my ambition is to go for Navy. By mistake, I took computer science. Then we do all help to see that we conduct programs for retired army people, defense people, to see that they are able to fulfill their aspirations. So we try to see that whatever the students want, we try to give opportunities for them to see that they are best placed. So the opportunities in government, private, public sector, and defense, that is one thing. And second thing is high studies. High studies, maybe India and abroad. Now, if you want to go for high studies abroad, naturally, you need to pass through certain competitive examinations. So we definitely conduct, we think about it and organize training programs in Amrita with subsidized course so that students can really take benefit of it and pass examinations. And third option is the entrepreneurship. Many times students want to start something their own. So these are the three options, and which will be in front of you 3 years from now. And it is really time for you to really think about it, have clear goals set, and to see that you can really take forward your aspirations in the path you decide. So having said that, I just want to give you a brief about the CR department. We are present in all the campuses and more than 100 people. And the right side corner you see our building, separate building in Coimbatore campus, where we have a lot of facilities for companies to come and stay there. Stay in of course in the guest house, conduct interviews, auditoriums, and all facilities are there. And under CAR, by this time it is somewhat clear to you, we have a career competency development. That is what we do, conduct training. We have career planning activities we carry out. Higher learning initiatives, I briefly mentioned about it. And corporate relations, very important. See, industry cannot exist without academy. Academy cannot exist without industry. So we need to do a lot of work there to go and meet industry and invite them, and they are more than willing to come and pick the best talent from the institutes. So they are willing to set up labs. All these things require a lot of discussions, a lot of understandings, and we have a separate cell for that to carry forward that activities. And we have an internship and placement, a separate cell for internship and placement. I will talk about that, about the achievements about that in the next one of the slides going to come by. And we have also a cell for entrepreneurship development, and we do some corporate trainings. Some of our experienced guys, do corporate training for companies like L&D, Federal Bank, and things like that. This is what CR department. And one of the most important thing is a career competency development. So the career planning activities, what we carried out in CER, typically we have a career planning guide in which we talk about all these things, starting from resume building, the various career opportunities for it. Typically we have built this for the engineering and arts, engineering and management students, and definitely we can also build something for the medical students in line with in discussion with the concerned eminent faculties and professors in the department. So that gives this a book which is given to you, so you can start looking at it and you can see various stages you should do, and you have 2 or 3 years for UG students and 2 years for PG students to go through that and really prepare for your career. So having said that, one of the most important thing what we do is the training part. We call the life skill training. And this training, this skill is very much required for your career success, irrespective of your knowledge. Unless you can communicate well, unless you can think well, unless you can take decisions well, I think very difficult to survive. Will not come up in the career. So maybe after a few years, how best you can talk, stand up in a forum and talk, how can you pick up a phone and talk to a client abroad and convince your ideas is, like Vijay Menon spoke now, is very, very important. Not only in speaking, but also in writing. So that capability is to build up. Systematically, we have training programs in Amrita to build up these capabilities. And that is our soft skills and verbal skill. That is a verbal skill and soft skill. And then also we have the aptitude skill to see that your intelligence is sharpened to make quick decisions. So this training we give to all the students starting from third semester for the UG programs and the first and second semester for PG programs across all the programs in Amrita. Be it engineering, be it is management, be it is arts and science, be it is... Recently we introduced for the medical, for all the medical schools. Not for English, but they say that for the soft skill part, for the interpersonal skills and for the presentations, for group discussions, we need, especially the nursing students, who want to go abroad, they need to communicate better. So we have started that program for all the medical schools. We got a faculty positioned here to teach soft skill for all the students of the medical schools. And with Sansar has requested us has told us to do this kind of training for the nanoscience. In fact, nanoscience, MTech, it's part of the curriculum, we do it, and for the UG program, the BSc programs also, we'll be doing it. And typically, this is what I mentioned, across all the programs, we conduct classes from 90 hours to 135 hours, typically for UG program, 3, 4, 5 semesters in every, every semester 3 hours, 1 for aptitude, 1 for verbal, and 1 for soft skill. That's the way we do it. And most of the program, it is credit-based. In fact, this program started in Amrita almost 15 years back. Many of the institutes, nowadays what happened is, just before the placement start, they call somebody and then they say that, please coach our students on communications. We don't do that. We systematically build it up from very, starting semesters onwards. That's what we do. So that by the time, that's what I told, placement happens here. It's not that we do something very rigorously the previous day or 2 days in advance for the placement. It happens over a period of time. That is something really done in Amrita. So these are all the books what we use for this training is prepared internally by us. So we always, when a company comes and conduct a process, we collect the feedback from students and we collect the questions and we create a question bank, and that is based on that we revise our syllabus. See, the industry keeps changing every year, very fast. In line with that, we need to make sure that we are teaching the students in the right way. So we revise our syllabus, the CR syllabus, and we have questions based on what is happening the previous year. And all these books are made internally. And the students who really want to go abroad, like CAT, GRE, CAT of course not applicable for you, GRE, maybe some, I don't know what is the test, TOEFL maybe. So for TOEFL, to pass TOEFL, naturally you need to, not TOEFL I think, IELTS. So to pass IELTS, you need to prepare for that. Definitely we can support you in getting the agency here and conduct training at a subsidized cost. Similarly, we can conduct foreign language trainings, and there are a lot of interest happening for German language. So we have a lot of faculties even available in Kochi. They approach us. So if there are a good number of students available who want to learn German language, any other foreign language, we can definitely arrange these training classes after the normal hours. We can do that. And corporate relations, I mentioned about that. As I told, the industry cannot exist without academy. Academy cannot exist without industry. A lot of companies are willing to come to Amrita. They want to set up labs, and it requires a lot of negotiation. For example, a company like TCS or company like Cisco. Cisco set up a big lab in Coimbatore, 1 crore investment they made. Set up a lab for people to come and do research. Because what they want ideas. They want innovative ideas from students. So all the projects, whatever we do, we need to share with Cisco. They know what is really happening at. TCS, for example, has an agreement with Amrita, and for TCS, there are 30 students come to Amrita for doing a MTech program in automotive electronics. They come and stay. Every year they send 30 students, then they come and stay in Amrita Coimbatore campus and come out with MTech in automotive electronics. So we have a very wonderful relationship with many industries, and it's a duty of the corporate relations department to see that these MOUs are signed and updated and then renewed every year. And the placement, yes, I think I want to tell you, It's important for you to know placement is typically something like a 9-step process. Every company, whatever the requirement, they float a JD first. So based on the JD, they will ask you to apply. And believe me, if your CGPA is below 6, they say that we don't want to look at students below 6 CGPA, typically. And if you got a standing arrears, they say we don't want to look at students standing arrears. So based on that, they do shortlisting first. And once that is done, there will be typically there's a, group discussions. And the group discussions, the online test. The online test is a place where nearly 50% of filtering happens. So if 1,000 students are applying or 100 students are applying, only 50 pass. So very important step to know. I'm just telling you to at the very early stage so that you are aware of all the things by the time you come to the end of third year. After that, there will be interviews. So technical interviews, domain interviews, and again maybe 20-30% students get filtered out. Then there is an HR interview. They will assess your character. They will assess your suitability for the culture of the company. They will see that what kind of person are you. So they ask questions which without your knowledge they will understand. And once you are cleared, typically you are selected. And then generally what happens nowadays is 6 months internship. You have to be in the company for 6 months, and then at the end of it, they'll give you a final, placement offer. So it's a process. It's not just one interview. So I just want to tell you, don't get scared by this, but it's a process. It's a 9-step process. That's what typically happens in the industry. And I mentioned about this. So we placed something like 2,219 students with 2,600 plus offers, and nearly 500 placement recruitment process was happening here. And you can see that we got fantastic results. We placed 2 students in Google. So see, don't go by this, don't get scared by these numbers. Typically what happens today is the requirement is for some of the segments. So you can see that Google is paying 60 lakhs for 2 students. Microsoft is paying 40 lakhs for 2 students, because that's the way the world moves. That is, in a way we can say that it is the Industry Revolution 4.0, a lot of things happening in AI, data science, and things that those who got that skill set will get high salaries. Don't get scared by that. You may start with a low salary, but over a period of time, you start getting good salaries. So don't just worry about that. But what I want to say is that Amrita is standing strong in placement. We are able to place students like any top even IITs. To that level, we are able to place students. Our students are good. This placement happens mainly because of the capabilities of students, and the academics and the CR departments only come second and third. So students, you are the potential candidates. You can really make things in your way if you think very strongly towards that. So a lot of placement things are happening here, and these are all the companies which comes to Amrita. So really what you should be doing, you should be definitely concentrating on academics very well, very important. And we mentioned about the training what we give, that's very important. And you should build domain expertise. Nowadays, a lot of questions, a lot of things are asked. What is your nanoscience typical, what kind of knowledge you got, what kind of expertise you have. So you need to take certifications, and definitely industry alignment is required. Like industry internships or maybe doing projects, all things are required. I just want to end you by saying something what I learned. Whatever you learn, whatever your knowledge you acquire in the 3 years or 2 years program or 4-year program in any institute can be classified into 5 categories. First thing is the procedural knowledge, the science you have to learn, or the engineering what you learn. Second can be classified as schematic knowledge, where you have built enough intelligence in your mind, you can able to explain that to somebody, so you are very clear, that kind of schema is built up in your mind. The third thing can be called a strategic knowledge. The strategic knowledge is like, for example, you might have seen a lion in your Facebook videos, a lion hunting a tiger. No, it doesn't run straight, runs in angle, it runs in a curved way so that it can attack fast. So that kind of knowledge you build up in whatever discipline you are. That is the third kind of knowledge. And fourth kind of knowledge is motor skill. A surgeon can do surgery very well. So he say, he has got that skill, which is, which is acquired, which may not be there with everybody else, all people. And the fifth kind of knowledge, what you get from any place, is attitude. So attitude is not taught. All other things, more or less it's taught and you acquire it, but attitude is you develop. In line with what Mr. Vijay Menon told, is a character. That is something what we really offer in Amrita. The attitude, what we are going to get from Amrita is definitely something different from what you get from other institutes. We have many cases where company like Cisco coming and telling us, yeah, we like your students. If I tell one of your students to stay late and do this work, he will do it. But if I tell some other students, they say, no, we have some other work, they will go away. So the attitude is very important, and along with this, the other 4 kinds of knowledge, try to develop a good attitude so that you will become successful people in your career and in your life. Thank you very much for your time. That's what I want to say.
Sir, you forgot your mask. Thank you very much, Mohanan sir, for giving a very comprehensive idea on placements at Amrita University to our students and their parents. Thank you. She takes care of our students, keeps them safe, and makes sure that they feel loved. In a way, she is the guardian angel of all our girls during their academic period here. Next, I would like to invite Brahmachari Rehnasi Mukundan, the Chief Warden, to address the gathering. Welcome, ma'am.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. The most blessed and privileged students of Amma, we welcome you to the Health Science campus of Amrita Vishwavidyapidam, Kochi. Hearty congratulations for scoring high marks in +2 and securing admissions at Amrita School of Nanomedicine. Congratulations to the parents for having that faith in our university. As you all know, somehow in our campus, always 90% students are girls. So of course, we have to be little more protected. During our inaugural, virtual inaugural program, I have given a brief idea about our campus and some of the rules and regulations. All your teachers and academicians were talking about your academics, but to score high marks and to be focused in life, one has to have some discipline. That is very important. Each person should have some self-discipline. It cannot be imposed. We have to have it from the beginning. When we have started MBBS course here in 2002. Same today, we have started the molecular medicine course today on 25th November 2021. So you are the most privileged students in the campus. You are being the first batch of students in the campus and in India. So you have people have a lot of expectation on you. Okay, you will be getting the best care, no doubt about it. Okay, especially the first, second and 3 batches, of course, each individual will be getting direct care and attention from the wardens and from all faculty. Okay, you will be looked after by Geetama or warden. You have met her yesterday, all of you, and the parents, of course, I'm sure about it. I would like to tell you some of the rules and we would like to inform you about the rules and regulations in the presence of parents itself, because sometimes parents doesn't know what is exactly happening with the students, so it is better to know. The school, hospital and hostels are extension of Mata Amritandamayi Math, a spiritual and religious organization. Observance of strict discipline is therefore absolutely essential. Students are required to render due reverence and respect to our dearest Amma Chancellor, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, founder, guide and inspiration of this institution. Students should also give respect to all monastic representatives and teachers, professors and senior members of all the institutions in the campus. We have so many institutions in Kochi campus itself, like School of Medicine, School of Pharmacy, Dentistry, Allied Health Science, like that. During Amma's birthday in the month of September, students are required to render 3 days of service at Amritapuri, Kollam. Girl students will have to be taken by the parents only, or you have to assign a local guardian. Your child, your ward cannot go alone from the campus anywhere. Parents should take permission from the warden and the chief warden if you have to stay back in the campus for late hours. It should be informed to your teachers, and teacher and the ward should inform the same to the hostel. In the hostel, there should be absolute silence between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. If anybody is seen making noise, the same matter will be informed to the Dean, Nanomedicine. It is compulsory to take part in the hostel prayer for 30 minutes. That's at 6:30 in the evening. Students are not allowed to keep bikes and cars in the campus. Cycles are allowed. Smoking, chewing, pan, alcoholic drinks are absolutely prohibited. There's a mandatory dress code for all students. Students are not allowed to wear sleeveless dresses, short tops or jeans. Students are not allowed to keep pets in the hostel. Don't feed cats and dogs, okay, in the campus. Then slowly it will come to the hostel. So it will be a nuisance for all of us later on. You will be having value-based classes, and slowly. Only vegetarian food will be served in the hostels. But we have non-veg canteen in the campus. You can have it from there. And there are 4 or 5 canteens inside and outside the hospital and within the campus. From wherever you like, you can have it. But your hostel messes in the hostel itself, and during the lunchtime, lunch will be served in the hospital mess that is just below your Nanomedicine ground floor. Without the specific permission of parents, students will not be permitted to undertake any journey outside the campus for any reason whatsoever. Ragging is a criminal offense and is strictly prohibited by law of the land. I don't have to tell you about it. You are all very clear about it. And there's no one to rag you here. You are the senior most students, and you do not do it with your juniors, okay? You will be in trouble if you do so. And I would like to say that, here we greet each other by saying Namasivaya. Namasivaya is not a religious word. The meaning is that I bow down to the truth in you. Okay. Here in the campus, all the students and all the teachers greet each other by saying Namasivaya. As a student of Amrita, you should uphold the dignity and tradition of the institute inside and outside the campus. If you go outside and indulge in some activities, it will be a bad name for you and for the institute. And periodic meetings will be conducted with your teachers, and we'll be informing everything good about you to your teachers. So And all the teachers were mentioning, all the speakers were mentioning about transparency and truth. Your ages we can understand. You all have come to this campus after passing out 12th class. I'm sure that you'll be at the age of 17 or 18. So at this age itself, you should have that thing. Whatever happens, you're small little kids, we understand. If any mistake, take place, you should have the guts to admit that I have done this. There's nothing wrong. Okay, we can always save you. But if you lie, if you're not being transparent and truthful, nobody can save you. Okay, so always be very truthful. That can save you. And every weekend you cannot go home. Only second, 4 Saturdays girls are permitted to go home. You have to take the permission from the faculty first. If it's a holiday like a Diwali, if your institution is giving holiday, we can permit you. If any class day, working days, if you want to go home, you have to take the permission from the teachers, because you will have some subjects, you will have some exams which the warden will not be knowing. So first take the permission of the faculty, then come to the hostel with your leave letter, and along with the LG or local guardian or parents only, we can send you. Okay, that's going to be there for 3 years. Local guardian or parents have to come to take your ward, and after 1 or 2 months, don't come and say that I want to go alone. That is not the practice here. And after this program, I'll be here for half an hour or 1 hour. So any doubts, parents can come and speak to me. Our wardens are always available. 24 hours our hostel office is functioning. Even midnight you can call if there is anything. And if you want to meet me also directly, you can call our office. They'll fix an appointment for you. There won't be any problem. And this campus is very safe, okay? Let me tell you that. This campus is very safe. But at the same time, students should also ensure their safety. Here a lot of bystanders are there, a lot of workers are there. So they have to take some safety also. The students must reach the campus by 6 o'clock, in the hostel by 6 o'clock. That is very important. As I already told you, if you're staying late, it has to be informed to the hostel through a faculty. Anything more you want to know? We can discuss later. Okay, wishing you all the very best. Enjoy, and we have a lot of clubs, a lot of co-curricular activities like sports, arts, debate. And Vijay Mohan sir comes often here to conduct debate. He is always a judge for us. So you will have more activities waiting for you. It is not only academics, everything is there. And as sir was, one of the speakers was mentioning about attitude. You should have a good attitude. Then only we can train you. And Amma always says that you have to be a beginner. You are a beginner. Only a beginner can learn easily and understand things. So always try to be like a beginner. May Amma bless each one of you. Namah Shivaya. See you.
Thank you, Rahnaji, for briefing up on the rules of the girls' hostel. Now, I would like to invite Professor Girish Kumar to address the gathering on campus safety. Professor Girish is the head of emergency medicine at Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences, and he is also the chief warden for the boys' hostel. Welcome, sir.
Om Amriteshwarya Namaha. My duty is to talk to you about your health related issues. The hostel related issues already discussed by my sister Rana Chechi. She is the chief warden for girls hostel. In boys hostel the same type of rules are applicable, but you have some more wardens, like your college wardens are there, resident wardens are there. Main thing is when we discuss about healthcare issues, the most important thing, everyone know that it is COVID. I want to know how many of you are vaccinated, students. How many of you are vaccinated? 2 doses of vaccines are taken. Can you just? So some are not taken. We have facility for that. It is a must that you have to take vaccination because you are working in a healthcare campus We have a lot of COVID cases in our campus, so it is better to take vaccination. What is the advantage of vaccination? I'll tell you that once you take vaccine, antibodies will be produced in your body. So these antibodies can protect you from a severe disease. It will not prevent the disease, it will protect you from severe disease. So those who are not vaccinated, please come and take vaccination. We have facility for vaccination. 2 doses must be taken. So that is the first and most important thing you have to do. Second thing is, you have any illness, whatever may be the illness, if you know the doctor directly, you can go to any OPD in this campus, because almost 90 types of specialities are there in this campus. So you can go to any OPDs and show. Suppose you are not satisfied with that, or your parents are not satisfied, you can directly contact me, because I can arrange you the consultation in this hospital wherever you want. But don't directly call me, because I am taking a lot of phone calls even in the night. You can either, in the boys hostel, Mr. Agil is there. Girls, you can either call through your warden, or Ashwati is here. She can directly call me, and we can arrange any healthcare issues. We can arrange. Another important thing I want to tell the boys, that is very important. Ernakulam is a metro city. You know that the dangers of metro city, drugs, alcohol, everything is very, very common here. Every day we are seeing some students are admitted in emergency medicine department with various type of drug problems. 2 cases I will tell you, that you will understand what is the gravity of these cases. Recently we had seen an acute MI, you know that it's myocardial infarction, or you can call it as heart attack, in a 20-year-old male engineering student. 20-year-old engineering student came with acute chest pain. It was diagnosed as heart attack. When we took the history, we know that what are the causes for heart attack. As a doctor, we know what are the causes of heart attack. Young student, it is not possible. But we know that one of the drug, that is cocaine, can produce heart attack. So he was continuously taking cocaine. So that is a danger. Suppose he is not getting a medical aid, he will die in that floor. Means he came from a hostel, he may die there. So that is a problem of cocaine. Another problem, I'll tell you. There is one case, one student, engineering student, came from, it's not from our campus. We have very strict surveillance in our campus. We don't allow these drugs in our campus. Another student came with one severe sepsis. You know what is severe sepsis means? It's an infection. He came. During the treatment, he developed fits. We call it as seizures, fits. But we know that this infection will not produce fits. So we asked detail. Some students, they may not open their mind to a doctor, but we have like our social workers, all those fellows to know the mind of the student. So he told he was taking tramadol continuously. Tramadol is a drug used for pain. So this student was taking tramadol continuously every day, 3-4 tablets, 3 times, 4 times for that kick. So one of the problem of this drug is, when you are withdrawing that drug, we are not taking that drug, you develop seizures. That person, unfortunately, he died. He had infection. He used to take injection IV drug abuse, and that produces infection in the heart. We call it as infective endocarditis. So he died very young age. We were seeing that death of the person and young student, and his mother was crying in front of us. We could not save that boy. So why I am telling all these things? These things are there in Ernakulam. We are trying to block these type of activities in our campus. To an extent, we could prevent that, but lot of new students are coming. I think you are around 80 students, sir? 89 students. So 89 students are added to our campus. So it will be very difficult for us to control. So it's the duty of parents. I know that you will be giving a lot of money to your children. From my point of view, my son is studying here in Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences. I don't give any money. Whatever you want, I give very limited money, only for his survival. But please take care of this. Don't give too much money, because we are seeing in hostel, some of the students are getting more money than a doctor here. I should not tell that some of the students are getting 2 to 3 lakhs for 1 month expense. I don't understand how much money you can spend. But remember, some of the costly drugs like LSDs are very costly. They are taking that. But we cannot block that. It's available as stamps. It is small stamps. It is available. Just keep under the lips. You don't get any smell. You don't get any clinical finding. Nothing will be there. But suddenly, one fine morning, they'll die in their room because all these drugs have got side effect. Especially, it can produce heart attack, heart rhythm abnormalities. So why I am telling especially boys, because I was a boy. Now I know I studied in a hostel where everything was available. Fortunately, I survived because I used to get a very small amount for my expenses, but some of my friends used to get very huge amount. They took 7 years, 8 years to pass MBBS. I at least passed MBBS in 5 years. So many students we are seeing, they are failing in their exams. They are not able to concentrate. Initially what happens is when you are taking drugs, you will feel that your concentration is improving. Transiently your concentration improves with all these type of drugs. But slowly you will understand that the ability of brain will come down. So my humble request to all students is don't go to that mode. You are going to become scientist. You are going to save somebody's life. You are going to do some new researches in your field. So try to avoid drugs, alcohol. And third one, Ranajaji already told ragging. Ragging is prohibited. It's a police case. So anybody is involved in ragging. Now you have no scope for ragging because you are the senior most batch, first batch. But next year, if you are involved in ragging, it will become a police case. So far, it was not police case. Now ragging is a police case. Directly we'll be handing over the student to police. They are 6 years, they lose. 6 years. So please don't do that. So this is my duty to tell all these things to you because you are new to this campus. Whatever it is, I am a doctor. Whenever you have health issues, you can directly contact me. Even if you have some habits like drug intake, if you want to avoid that is, you may require, some students may require constant counseling. We had a PG student last year. He completed his MBBS from Nepal. He's from a very rich family. He used to take a lot of drugs. He was in hostel. We got information that he was taking in the hostel, the drugs he was taking in the hostel. What happened is we counseled him, continuously counseled him in our college. We have a good counseling team. Now he completed his MD exam and he is working in a good hospital now. So it's very, very important that you should take care yourself, that because lot of opportunities are here for going in a wrong way. So parents should take care that they should not give too much money. If you have too much money also, don't give. That's my simple advice. You may have lot of money, but don't give to students. Whatever is required, it is there in the campus. Whatever books are required, everything is there in the internet. One of the common problem with students is, they are asking money from their parents, telling that they want to buy some books. Books worth 3,000, 4,000, but I have not seen any student reading textbooks. Nowadays, they all read from internet. Everything is freely available. I don't know, in Nanosciences, it may be available. Most of the books are available. So try to, whenever you are giving money, it's only a simple advice to you, because I am also a parent. My son is studying here. So I know what is a problem in controlling them. So please don't give money to any student. Okay. So once again, let me congratulate you all for getting admission in this wonderful institute. Thank you.
Thank you, Girish sir. Next, let me invite our dear alumni, Ms. Amrita Shri Menon, who is already enjoying a flourishing career at Rolls-Royce. She'll be talking to you. Welcome, Amrita.
Shivaya. First of all, thank you so much to everyone who, I thought I was muted, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me? I'll take that as a yes.
We can hear you well. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. Shivaya. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone for having me here. Especially thank you so much to Shanti, sir, and to all of the students who've come here. I'd really like to congratulate all of you for your admits into an institution as prestigious as Amrita University, which has been ranked the first private university in India, and with the blessings of our beloved Amma. I'm also particularly surprised that you are all the first BSc molecular medicine students of the entire country, and that is a huge achievement. So really congratulations to yourselves for getting here in the first place. I was told to introduce myself a little bit at the risk of having more than my body weight in ego, but I thought maybe it will be helpful for all of you to understand how I got where I am right now. I started off as a student of chemical engineering and material science, engineering in Coimbatore, at Amrita University in Coimbatore. And having grown up in Singapore and Hong Kong before that, I was really anxious about joining an institution that was so well known and prestigious, but also known for being quite intense. And I can promise you that every experience that I've had at Amrita has been immensely worth it and has been a big stepping stone for me in the future. While I was doing my engineering degree, I did my final semester at the Center of Nanosciences, and I was under the tutelage of Shanti sir and Jay Kumar sir, and I'll tell you a little bit about my thesis later on, but it is because of that that I got a lot of the master's admits that I did get later on. Right after my engineering, I did an MSc degree in the management of technology at the Technical University of Delft in the Netherlands. I specialized in economics and finance, and I did my thesis in sustainability, the economics of sustainability policy. I was extremely blessed and lucky to get a scholarship at TU Delft. It was called the Justus van Effen Excellence Scholarship, and it was based off, honestly, I think it was based off of the reputation of Amrita University, because everywhere that I went to, every interview that I did for my master's, they were quite excited to have a student from Amrita even doing an interview with them. So I was extremely excited to have that opportunity to speak and to get the scholarship for them. It was such an amazing scholarship. They provided me with 100% tuition. They even paid for my tickets and my visa to reach the campus. So I'm sure you will get such opportunities in your future as well. Just because you are already here, just because you're already an Amrita student now. I do remember that I got the news of my scholarship while I was in Ames in the nanoscience lab, and I went to every door and I went to all of the labs, all of my new friends there, and I told everyone that I was so happy to be getting it, and I thanked them all for this opportunity to get it. I'm currently living in Bristol in the UK, the south of the UK, and I'm working in Rolls-Royce PLC in the Strategic Supply Chain Management program. I was working in the civil business before, but now I'm in the defense business. So I contract some resources that go into our high-risk materials and complex commodities that go into the defense programs that Rolls-Royce provides across the world. So largely the American Army, the British Army, and then some with the Australian, Canadian, Japanese, and Korean armies as well. For a while, I've had BrahMos missile components as well on my desk. So it's actually quite a nice place to be, and I've had very good experiences and opportunities over here as well. But enough about myself per se. I really wanted to let you know that Amrita University has given me a lot of opportunity for invaluable learning throughout my time there. I got the opportunity to go to Paris as a student exchange student for a European business management course, which is not what I was studying in Amrita, but I was still given the opportunity to study a lot of other things that I was interested in during my time there. I also won a student exchange competition with the Institute of Chemical Engineers in the United Kingdom, and I got a fully paid for trip to come to Birmingham in the UK and to see everything that was happening here, visit industries, and get a lot of the base knowledge that I use regularly today. I was also required to make a technical presentation, which I chose in the topic of organic cosmetics. And I see, as students of molecular medicine, maybe you will end up going into pharmacy and you may end up going into developing cosmetic materials in the future. So if you'd like that, please do come and talk to me. I'll also now stop before you further accuse me of speaking too much about myself. But I can tell you that Amrita institutions will provide you a top quality education that is relevant fully to my work today, both academically and in extracurriculars. I know that it sounds quite scary on your first day to hear all of these rules and regulations about the hostel and about all of the things that you have to do while you are in the university. You may feel like there's a lot of pressure to perform academically and then to perform socially and do all of the things that you need to do. But please do take these steps seriously because they will be very beneficial to you in the future. And because of my experiences in Amrita, I now have a lot of confidence and independence in doing what I do right now. And I live alone over here and I don't feel pressurized to do anything that I feel I shouldn't be doing at all. So I got these opportunities to learn a lot about life while very much safe under the tutelage of the senior professors and management and the blessings of all of the senior Amrita staff in the university. So please do take advantage of all of the opportunities that are available to you because there are many. And please don't miss out on anything that you get because there's no other place where there's literally no other place in the universe where you can meet the chancellor directly and you can communicate directly with Amma, our guru, and get her blessing. So if you have any problems at all, please go forward and talk to Amma about it. And I'm sure you will get a solution. And I've done this many, many times. Every time I've had any anxieties or any troubles, I've definitely gone to Amma and gone to take her blessings for it. So if you have that opportunity, please go for it. It's not stressful and it's an amazing experience. Also, I have to let you know that the student experience anywhere, because now I've studied in a few universities, it isn't designed to be extremely easy. It is not easy to learn about life without any difficulties in the way. So you are going to have many nights where you're going to be sleepless and you're going to study overnight. And I'm sure you've already done it to graduate from your high schools. But it's going to continue for a couple more years. And I promise that it is worth it in the end. And please take the opportunity to learn about everything that you can in your education. You will not find better professors anywhere else in the world. The stories of Mahabharata and Ramayana don't happen because they're all princes and princesses living exclusively in their palaces. They come out of their comfort zones and they work really hard. And that's what gets them to be the successes that they are right now. And that's why you have these itihasas that are still told millenniums later. So please take advantage of all these opportunities that you've got right now in front of you. And I can tell you that I'm extremely proud to be associated with the Amrita institutions. And I do still take every opportunity that I get to come back and interact with as many people as I can. And I'm sure that at the end of this program, you'll have every reason to be proud of the institution and of yourselves and of the people that you will become at the end of this. And I thank you so very much for having me. And I wish you all of the best of luck in your journey going on. And please, go speak freely to your professors. Please appreciate the presence that you have of Shanti sir, and all of the other top 3% of professors or scientists in the world that you have in the nanoscience department, and don't lose out on this opportunity. You've already reached so far. You've taken your first step. You've crossed your first mile, and you're now in your middle miles, a few steps away from your last mile. But I promise you, it's going to be fully worth it as an experience. Thank you very much. Namah Shivaya.
Amrita Shri, I just want to congratulate you on your tremendous career successes. We are really proud of you and where you have reached. We'll certainly be always staying in touch with you. I also want to really thank you for your patience in waiting and coming here today to address the students. That was very special. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all. Namah Shivaya.
Thank you so much, Amrita Shri. And like Amrita was commenting, Shanti sir and Jayakumar sir has been for the second year consecutively been chosen to be in India's 2% scientist. World's 2% scientist, 2% scientist in the ranking by Stanford University. So let's give a wide round of applause. With this, we have come to the end of our welcome event. I would like to invite Professor Krishna Kumar Menon, Faculty Coordinator of the Molecular Medicine Program, to deliver the vote of thanks.
So you can hear me very well now with the mask on. First of all, let me thank Rehna ji for explaining about the word meaning of Namah Shivaya. So it's beyond religion, actually speaking. So Namah Shivaya to all. So the second thing I wanted to thank is trusting us by taking up the BSc Molecular Medicine course to all the students and the parents who supported us. So a big thank you to all the students and parents for trusting us. There is a lot of people to be thanked about. The other person I would like to thank is Professor Shanti Kumar Nair, the director. And compared to his conventional way of talking, this time he brought about the spiritual aspect of what we regularly chant here. And that sounds very interesting. And thank you, sir, for bringing it out. And the other aspect which I really enjoyed is the student performance, and they portrayed the Mother Lord in different forms, in various forms, and it just reminded me that we all have looks very different here, but we all have the same 23 number pair of chromosomes, but we look very different. So forms are manifested in different ways. So thank you, Sridevi and team, for doing that great performance. And I also wish to thank the wonderful speaker, Vijay Menon, who is not here at the moment because of his very busy schedule, because he always brought about a fantastic speech. And it's not just talking about simply some things, but he articulates so beautifully that it makes us think. And what he brought about, one interesting thing which I felt is that he used the example of the sun and the shadow of the person, and which reminds me of Gayatri Mantra, where you always have to empower your intellect by not by looking down, but respect the knowledge which is above you, surrounding you, and above all of you. And then only you bow to it, then only you will feel the beauty behind the whole thing. So thank you, Vijay Menon, for the wonderful speech. Now, the next person I would love to thank is Mohanan sir, because he has talked about the placements which you will always look towards, because what comes out after you finishing this course. In fact, because you are the first batch in the whole of India, which itself may put you in a good placement position, and at the same time, like if you put your effort in a good way, you will be able to succeed tremendously in achieving a lot of things like Amrita Shri has achieved. That is, so I wish to thank you for enlightening about the placements that offers. And I also wish to thank all the support staff, our faculty office, Girija madam, Ashwari in particular, for example, going around taking all the effort to organize this program, and at the same time Savita, and I was asking Savita, you know, who all I have to thank, because she was telling me there's a whole lot of people you got to thank, but so I can't remember everybody, but I will thank all the people under the umbrella of Nanoscience and Molecular Medicine, including our faculty members, Priyanka, everybody. Then the last person to thank is Dr. Girish Kumar. He's also not around here. Remember, he's the warden for students, and he has explained beautifully about the consequences of if you go beyond, if you go out of the rules and regulations of the hostel. And thank you, sir. And finally, I wish to thank Raghunathji for explaining, laying down the rules and regulations. This is very important, because restrictions will help you make you a better person, because it will bring a lot of discipline in you, and at the same time you can achieve your goals very effectively. I always teach to the students, because a neuron which finds its path to establish proper connections in the brain, you know, it goes here, touches there, then there is a restriction, then it turns around this way, and finally it achieves its goal. But this is very important. So Raghunathji, thank you for that presentation. And with that, I conclude. If I have left anybody from this, my apologies, but thank you all.
So with this, we have come to the end of our welcome event for the BSc Molecular Medicine batch students of Amrita Center for Nanoscience and Molecular Medicine, Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. Thank you and all the best for you for having a splendid academic experience ahead. And we will have our lunch. We'll break for lunch now. Lunch has been arranged in the 3rd floor of B block. So our team is all ready here, and they'll guide you to the lunch venue. After lunch, we have guided lab tour for the parents and photography session for the students. So after lunch, you can go back to your hostel and get ready for the photography session in your uniform, and you can be assembled in front of your hostel. Our team will pick you from there. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Namaskar.